Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'd like to wish each one of you a healthy and prosperous new year. Today I'm going to show you how to make a super cute little baby New Year's gnome. So if you want to know how to make him, stick around. I'll show you how. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Okay, go ahead and cut your pattern pieces out. You're going to cut 3 of the big circle, 2 of the little circle, 2 of the rectangle, and 1 of the little strip. And I've given you these in both SVG and PDF. So you're going to come in at a 1/2 inch, mark it, and that's where you're going to glue to. If you're using the pool noodle from the Dollar Tree, you need to go to the 1/2 inch. If you're using a bigger pool noodle, you may have to go just a little bit bigger. Then we're going to go ahead and put our strip around the bottom, and that's what's going to hold our little brim on with. So go all the way around, starting at the back. Just make sure you go right along the bottom edge. Next, we're just going to take the brim and just going to run right over to the top, and you're going to stop right at that ledge that you just put on there. Just make sure it does go all the way down, and you're going to go ahead and glue it to it. Okay, next we're going to glue the top onto the hat, and you're going to just glue around the edge of the round part and glue that to the top. We're kind of building on this hat. Now you could have made that out of chipboard, but I just had craft foam, so I'm just making the whole thing out of craft foam. Okay, next we're going to add our next rectangle over here, and you're going to end in the back where the seam is. This just kind of makes it a little bit stiffer. And it also does cover up some of the glue that if you got glue on the face of it, putting the round part on, it just kind of covers that up as well. Okay, and since it has a lip down at the bottom, we are going to have to trim the top a little bit just to make it flush with the other top. So once you get that glued on, we're just going to go ahead and take our scissors and trim it down to where it's flush with the top. Okay, and then go ahead and glue the other top on right on top of that one. Okay, next we're going to take another one of the brims, and we're just going to pull it right over the top part of this hat all the way down. And then we're going to go ahead and take the other brim and put it on the bottom side so it just finishes it out. Okay, and then to decorate it up, I'm just going to put a piece of black craft foam right around the base. And kind of stretch this as you're going because you want to make sure that it is tight. Okay, and then to seal out the base, I'm just going to go ahead and take a piece of 12" by 1/4" inch craft foam, and I'm just going to go ahead and stretch it so it'll go all the way around this hat, starting in the back, and then just glue that to the face of it. That'll just kind of finish out that edge. Next, we're going to take a pool noodle and we're going to cut it at 4.5 inches in length. This is a 2¼ inch diameter pool noodle from Dollar Tree. If you can't find one this size, you may have to scale your pattern up just a bit. Okay, for the diaper, I'm just going to use some white cotton fabric. I've given you the pattern in the description below. Now, I did change the pattern so that it doesn't have all the black. It's just an outline so you can save some ink on your printer. Just go ahead and pin it to your fabric. You're going to cut out 2 of these. You cut it out, we're going to start gluing it together. Now we're going to leave the side open and we're just going to go all the way around and glue the 2 sides together. Just make sure you kind of get your glue even on there, but do leave that one side open because we are going to have to turn this right side out. And you're just going right up against the edge. Now if you were going to sew this, this is a 1/4 inch inseam all the way around, and you could sew this on your sewing machine. But just try to get as close to the edge with your glue as you can so that you still have your little curves when we turn the right side out. Next, I'm just going to take a pair of pliers and I'm just going to turn this right side out. Just get into the corners, kind of be careful with it, get into the corners and then just go back in and get the other corner. Just kind of take your time on this part because you don't want to tear it up. Okay, then I'm just going to take a craft stick and I'm just going to push it into each of the corners just to smooth those out. And then after you get it completely smoothed out, I'm going to iron mine. Now don't worry about the glue melting on it. Just kind of take an iron and kind of swiftly go over it. You just kind of want to make sure that the fabric is smooth. I'm using a 2-inch stockinette. Now you don't have to use this. I'm just trying to get the skin tone color on this. You could use a piece of felt to cover this up too. You just want to make sure that you have skin tone on it because you are going to see part of his body. And then if you do use the stockinette, you want to go ahead and tuck it down inside the noodle and just glue it in. Okay, next we're just going to attach the diaper. Just go ahead and put it, it's about halfway of the noodle. Just go ahead and pull that up on top and we're going to glue that on first, the center part, and then we're going to wrap those sides around. You just want to make sure that you do get this pretty tight. And then we're just going to glue each side over to the front part. Just kind of pull it so that they do meet in the middle. Next, we're going to take two 1-inch balls of oven baked clay that's skin colored, and we're just going to kind of roll them in a ball, kind of flatten them out, and then curve the sides in. You're just going to try to make the foot shape on these. Okay, then for the little toes, we're just going to roll some little balls up, and we're going to attach those with some wire. And you want to make sure that the big toe is the biggest part. After you get all your toes made, we're just going to cut off some 1/2-inch pieces of wire and we're going to stick half of it into the top part of the foot and then we're going to put our toes right over the top of that. And you're going to do 5 of these. And then we're going to bake these in the oven at 275 degrees for 25 minutes. And these don't have to be perfect. Just get, get 5 toes on there. And then do the other foot exactly the same way. Before you bake them, you want to take a 1/4-inch dowel stick and just make an indent into each one of the feet. And then bake at 275 for 25 minutes. As we're baking, we're going to go ahead and do the hands, and I'm just using a hand mold, and I'm going to roll my fingers out first, bend that back, and open up the little cavity a little bit better, and then get those filled in. If you bend it open, it'll work a little bit better than just trying to push it into the opening. And then we're going to fill the rest of the cavity up with clay and just kind of mash it down real good, get it pretty full. And do the same thing with the second hand. And I'll give you the link for this mold. I get this on Amazon. Okay, after you get those completely full, just make sure you can see the hand shape on there, and then we're just going to go ahead and take them out. Okay, next we're going to take a piece of wire, and I'm cutting mine probably about 3.5 inches in length. Okay, then I'm going to curl the end of it with some pliers so I can stick it inside of the hand and it'll stay in there, and then bake these at 275 degrees for 25 minutes. Just push that down in there and then go ahead and do the same thing with the other one. Are baking, we're going to go ahead and finish out the leg. Now I'm going to attach the leg with a dowel stick, and I'm just taking a 1/4 inch by 6 inch dowel stick, and I just sharpened one end of it. And you're just kind of making about a 1/2 inch little leg to attach to this. Just kind of roll it out in a log shape, and then go ahead and run your dowel stick through it. And then we're going to attach the opposite end to the foot, and then we're going to cut these off. And we're going to cut this dowel stick to about 1 3/4 inches in length. And then we're going to go ahead and add our leg back in here. And then we're going to go ahead and attach it to our foot. And you want the pointy side away from the foot. And then once you get those on there, just kind of smooth those to blend them together. Just kind of pull down on the sides until it's completely attached. And you're going to do exactly the same thing with the other one. And then you're going to rebake these again at 275 degrees for 25 minutes. Just make sure that they are the same length before you bake them. Okay, while those bake, we're going to go ahead and finish out the arms. And we're just going to add a little arm to these. We're going to have him holding his hat up. So you only want maybe about another 1/2 inch for his arm. We're just going to run it right through that wire and attach it to the hand. So his arm's going to be about a 1/2 inch. Just kind of blend that in there real good. And then you're going to rebake these again at 275 degrees for another 25 minutes. Just make sure that the arms are the same length. Next, I'm just going to take a safety pin and I'm going to spray paint it with some copper paint. Next, for a sash, I cut a piece of ribbon that's 4 inches in length by 1/2 inch, and I'm just going to attach a 2024 that I cut out with my Cricut. I'm just going to iron that on. Here, we're just going to cut a piece of faux fur at 2 inches wide by 1/2 inch in length. And then we're going to go around in a curved shape from one point to the other, cutting behind the faux fur only, and then go ahead and comb off any excess fur. To attach the sash, I'm just going to run my safety pin right through the center of it, and I'm going to glue this right to the front part of his diaper. Just kind of have it hanging over just a little bit. Go ahead and glue that one side down to the body, and then go ahead and glue the safety pin in place. And then go ahead and glue the rest of the ribbon on down. To attach the legs, we're going to kind of come in at a diagonal in the front. Just go ahead and poke a hole with an X-Acto knife in there. And then we're going to slide the foot right on inside of there. And we're kind of coming in at a diagonal from the front. Okay, then when we get it exactly where we want it, we're going to go ahead and just glue it on in. And just kind of hold it till it dries real well. Do exactly the same thing with the opposite leg. Next, to attach the beard, we're going to come down 1 inch from the very top of the noodle and glue that in. Just go ahead and make a mark on there so you know exactly where you're going to put that. And then go ahead and glue it right to the front. Okay, next go ahead and put your hat on, and then we're going to mark exactly where our arms are going to come out. We're going to have him holding his hat. Now you want to make sure that your thumbs are facing backwards. I put mine on the opposite way, and it's wrong, because if you're holding your hands out and you're holding your hat up, your thumbs are facing backwards. Just make a mark right on each side exactly where that's going to come out, and then we're just going to take an X-Acto knife and cut into it. And then go ahead and trim your wires so they don't go out the other side when you put them in. And then just go ahead and poke them right inside on each side. Again, with your thumbs facing towards the back and the palms are up. And then you might have to get something. I actually grabbed one of those long needles to run it through, just to kind of poke it a little bit farther down in there to get that in a little bit easier. And then we're going to go ahead and pull them back out, and we're going to glue them in. next we're going to go ahead and put his hat back on all the way down to where it's touching his hands, and we're going to take a 12mm half bead to put on his nose. We're going to tuck it right up underneath the edge of that hat there. And then we're going to go ahead and glue his hands right to the hat. And you're going to do that to both sides. Okay, I think he turned out super cute. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like these kind of videos, be sure and give me a like, subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified when I have a new video upload. Thank y'all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Happy New Year.